What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome in to the live show. Happy to have you here on Chiefs Report Live Edition. Super pumped for today. We got a lot of good topics to talk about in today's show. But with it being game week, we got some business to start with. And that's who you got this week. If you got the Kansas City Chiefs, type KC. If you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, type JAC. Get it in the chat. Get a shout out on the show. I want to see who's ready for today's live show. We got Jordan, Tim Carr, Tony Fuentes with KC, Cole Kellner, KWL with KC, Richard Martin. I'm seeing no JACs right now, which is what I like to see. Adrian with KC, Sheldon with KC. Tony, how are you? How are you doing, Tony? I'm doing great. Chris Williams with the KC. Staffen with KC. Paul B with KC. And then David Tracewell with KC. All right, before we get too far into the show, I got to welcome in the special guest today. Our producer, Mr. Loneray Jack. How you doing?
Oh, here we are. How's it going, everybody? Happy to be here, Jace, for your first official live show. This is going to be a lot of fun. Talking a lot of interesting things today. Travis Kelce injury, Travis Kelce dating a mega superstar. We'll talk about all of that, but I'm happy to be here, Jace.
Oh, yeah. Super pumped to get some last little K season here with Trey King. Jonathan Earl, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well, Trey King. Hey, I think I'm pretty cool. I think you're cool, Trey King. AJ Haley, AJ Phi Haley, whatever. I appreciate you joining us, KC. Let me know if I'm saying that right. And then Billy as well. All right, well, we got the KC's last one coming in here from Nick Ramsey. Well, now I got to know, where are you watching from? Shout out your city in the chat. I want to know where you're watching from, what you're doing, how you're doing on today, and what brings you to the Chiefs live show. So, Stefan just got here. What's going up? Tony's from Dallas. Jordan out of Virginia. Stockholm, Sweden from Staffen. Staffen, am I saying your name right? Let me know if I'm not, and I will surely switch. Brian, KC fan from Phoenix. Nice. Trey King, Indianapolis, Indiana. How the Colts doing? You going to go see him, see the Chiefs when they go up there? Cole Kellner from Wichita. Leonard from Edmond, Oklahoma. Sir Staxalot from Bakersville, California. Stacy from Dallas, Texas. And then we got Jeff from Jalisco, Mexico. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Simply Spaced on it, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. Joshua from Eurocrat. MT, what's that? Is that Missouri? It's MT. Montana. Eureka. Yeah, you're better than I am. Austin, Texas for Into Skiing. And then Adrian Aguilar from Albuquerque, New Mexico. London, England for KC Tiger. Got a couple of guys. Got one from Sweden, got one from England. Happy y'all are here on the Chiefs Report. Michael Flores from Topeka, Kansas. Richard Martin from Waukene, Kansas. And then Michael Waite from Ottawa, Iowa. Stephen B. from Kansas City again, and Glenn Husky from Rolla, Missouri. All right, before we get into today's show, we got to tell you about a brand new addition and sponsor to the Chiefs Report. Now, I'm super excited to welcome in a brand new sponsor to the Chiefs Report, and that is Game Time. Now, with Game Time, you're going to get killer deals on last-minute tickets, and their best price guarantee guarantees that you're going to stop stressing over tickets, and you're going to be able to start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. Now, buying tickets with Game Time is not stressful, and it's the fast and easy way to get everything you want from sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. Now, the best thing about Game Time, well, there's flash deals, there's last-minute tickets, and on top of which, you get images of the seats that you will be able to buy. Now, I am the new guy here at Chat Sports, and I'm still trying to explore the area, and I'm a big baseball guy. I want to go watch some baseball games. Well, with Game Time, that was super simple. Didn't have to plan ahead. I just went on the app, decided, I'll go to this game, clicked it, and within a couple clicks, I had my ticket, and it was sent directly to me. Did not have to go through my email. It was just an easy experience. And with our code ChiefsChat, you're going to be able to get $20 off your first purchase. That's $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code ChiefsChat for $20 off. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest price guaranteed. All right, we got to show some love to our new sponsor, Game Time. And the way we can do that is by spamming GT in the comments. Get in there. We're going to shout out everybody who puts GT in the comments. Welcome our new sponsor because, well, it wouldn't be possible without you. And let's welcome in Game Time with a Chiefs Kingdom welcome.
And I just want to say real quick, I'm very stoked that we have Game Time.
Oh,
just like
awesome.
Completely on the record here, Game Time is the ticketing app of my choice as well, and it's the ticketing app of everyone here at Chat Sports. I mean, I'm going to see a baseball game in the next week, and I was looking at Game Time. I'm like, these are really great prices. So
yeah, the deals are
I'm very
amazing.
excited that they're here as well.
They're amazing deals on there. Tim Carr, he's got GT going. Trey King with GT. Everybody get in the chat. Put GT. Welcome our brand new sponsor, Game Time. An amazing ticket app. I mean, I'm using them for literally every event I go to. I'm checking out Game Time. Sir Stacks-A-Lot's got GT. We got Tony Fuentes and Cole Kellner getting the GTs in there. Lady D with the GT. Also, Tim Carr. Come on, be a part of the Chiefs Kingdom. Welcome Game Time with a good Chiefs Kingdom. Welcome. Get GT in the chat. Alicia Gibson. I hope I'm saying that right. GT. Appreciate you, Alicia. And then Tim Carr once again. All right, well, let's transition. We kind of hinted at it a little bit, but is Travis Kelce dating someone? And could that someone be Taylor Swift? Well, let me know. Type Y for yes, type in for no in the chat. If you didn't see the report, well, Travis Kelce came out today saying that him and Taylor Swift have been quietly hanging out. So, yeah, they linked up. Well, I don't really know. I mean, that kind of seems like they're dating to me. I mean, let me know what you think. I'm pressing Y.
I think the biggest thing that needs to be determined here is what are we considering dating?
So and maybe I'll ask you this question. I consider dating on if you've gone on a couple dates. If they've hung out multiple times, I would assume that's dating.
So my now girlfriend Sarah, hey, what's up?
Hey, there you go. Shout out.
We were dating for 3 or 4 months before we actually made it official. We were going on dates and we considered it dating.
Yes.
And then we eventually got to the point where we're like, okay, now it's official. So what is that definition? That's kind of the biggest thing.
I think it's dating and then relationship. Because if you're dating, you're going on dates. But if you're in a relationship, you're committed to that one person. Yeah, exactly. That's a lot. So, I mean, dating, they've gone on a couple dates. We got a lot of Y's coming in here from Tony Fuentes. And then Steven says no. Come on, you don't think that Mrs. Swift is going to come in here and help out Travis Kelce's season? He's definitely going to help him out. Jonathan Earl's got the Y in there. I agree, Jonathan. I agree. I think it's definitely a Y. You hung out a couple times. Come on. He did. There was a report about a month ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't really remember exactly. Supposedly, Travis Kelce asked for her number, and it wasn't if I don't know if he got denied or.
So the story is that he was at her concert in Kansas City, and you know how they all share the bracelets and things like that. So he made a bracelet with his number on it.
That's
and he
what it was
going to try to give it to her, but he got denied, I guess, basically. Yeah.
Well, you know what may have happened? He may have been denied by security, and she found out and was like, hey, actually, I wanna explore that. And hey, Super Bowl winning tight end, and Taylor Swift actually declined the Super Bowl halftime show this year. Maybe because, you know why she did it this year, though. She declined it because her boyfriend's going to be playing in it, Travis Kelce. All right, let's go. All right, we need your help because we're getting close to 45,000 subs, and you blew it out of the water on the watch party on Thursday. All of Chiefs Kingdom, all of the Chiefs Support family. Really appreciate you as we got to 44,000 subs during the Lions game. Really hit the mark there. But y'all went above and beyond because y'all almost got us to 45,000. We are now just 70 people away from 45,000. So hit that subscribe button, join the Chiefs Report family, and help us get to 45,000 today on this live show. It'd really be a great thing for the Chiefs Report, for us, and just grow the family here at the Chiefs Report Kingdom. All right, well, you know the deal. If you're ready to start the live show, I need you to spam the like button. We only got 19 likes, and right now we got 100 viewers. So I guarantee you not everyone's liked the video. So like the video, what you doing? Come on, like the video. We'll be ready for this game, this show to start. And if you like the video, send a little thumbs up in the chat to know that you're ready for today's live show. We got Tony Fuentes who threw up the thumbs up. He's ready to go. Yeah, I know. We got to get to at least 40. We're at 28, so that helped a lot. Tim Carr, he got 3 thumbs in there. You liked it 3 times? 3 likes. Trey King with the thumbs up. He liked it. We're at 28. We We need 29. We need 11 more. Got to get to 40 before we start this live show. If you're ready, like the video. We're at 30 now. Cole Kellner, Shad Jameson. Everybody, we're at 31 now. Keep it going. Into Skiing 76 with the like. Richard P. Everybody liking the video. Stephen B. Richard Martin. All liked the video. Hit that like button. We're now 8 away from starting this live show. We need your help. I can't get started unless we're at 40. The bosses told me I needed to have 40 likes, and we're not at 40. I can't go against what they've asked me. Lady D liked it. Speedy Mac has liked it, along with Glenn Husky and Chris. They've all liked it. Just hit the like. You got 5 more to go. It's free. It helps support the channel. Do it. Plus, you get a little piece of the Chief Support family. Shad Jameson. Sir Stacks a lot. We're 1 like away, and we can start this show. 1 more person has to like it. We're at 102. We're at 39. We need 1 more. There it is. You know what that means. Let's roll. All right, Chiefs Kingdom. You did a spectacular thing on the Lions versus Chiefs watch party. You got us to 44,000 subs during the Lions game. Well, you did even better because you got us closer to 45,000. And now today, we are only 70 people away from 45,000. And so if you want the latest on your Chiefs, then hit that subscribe button, join the Chiefs Report Kingdom, and be able to get all your news and rumors in one place. All right, our first story today involves this man right here, Mr. Chris Jones. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, come on. He has agreed to a new contract, and although it really wasn't new, it's a revamping of the 1 year he did have left, as we've now got an update as well on that contract and what exactly the incentives are in it. So the report yesterday was that the 1 year was restructured to where he would have the chance to make a very good amount of money in terms of incentives. And today, we got the news of what exactly those incentives are. So this is coming from Pro Football Talk, and here's the details. He'll get $1 million if he plays for 35% of the time, another $1 million for 50% playing time, and then he'll get $1.25 million for 10 sacks, along with another $500,000 for 15 sacks, $1 million for first-team All-Pro and Super Bowl appearances, and then should he win the Defensive Player of the Year and a Super Bowl, you're going to get $2 million for those. I think it's pretty good because now Jones, he's got to earn his way to make the money. Let's break it down a little bit further, as Jones, again, was fined $2 million for missing training camp, along with a $1.1 million game check that he missed out on this past Thursday because of him missing that game. And now his maximum value of his new contract, which was 19.5, is now 25.17 million. And so Jones is going to have to earn that money back. That's what he's going to have to do, have to go in, basically play the way that he knows he can, and he's betting on himself. I like it. I mean, he's one of those guys where I'm going to go out and I'm going to go prove myself. I appreciate from him, and I'm happy he's back in a Chiefs uniform. And for his sake, you put up the numbers he put in last year, well, it's not going to be that hard to get to all those incentives and possibly a little extra to gain back the money you lost. Now, I'm super excited to welcome in a brand new sponsor to the Chiefs Report, and that sponsor is Game Time. Now, with Game Time, buying tickets is stress-free, unlike other apps. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over tickets and start getting excited for the fun you're going to have. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. Some of the best things about Game Time, well, there's flash deals and last-minute tickets, and it's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Now, I'm the new guy here at Chat Sports, and I'm really trying to explore the area. And I want to go watch some sporting events, and with the MLB season winding down, I'm trying to find tickets to go watch a couple games. Well, with Game Time, it made that process super, super simple. Just 2 clicks, and I had my tickets. Didn't have to go through my email. It was right there on the app. And I even got a 360 view of my seat where I was going to be sitting just that day. Now, we have a special deal for Chiefs Report watchers, as if you use the code ChiefsChat at checkout, you're going to be able to get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. That's $20 off. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChiefsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ChiefsChat for $20 off. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest price guaranteed. Further into this contract. Now, for Jones to make his $3.1 million that he lost, it's going to be 50% playing time and 10 sacks. That's the easiest route for Jones to make that money that he lost, both in fines and missing out on that game check, to basically re-up what he lost. Now, here's the good news for the Chiefs. Pete Sweeney tweeted this out today, clearing something up here regarding the new Chris Jones contract with all the Chiefs. All incentives added to a contract after the season begins becomes not likely to be earned, which is what that NLTBE stands for. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, it means that all the incentive money that Chris Jones could possibly earn this year, well, that's going to go on the cap of next year, which means you basically kind of got a discount because now you're paying Chris Jones the exact amount that you were going to pay minus that $1.1 million game check and, of course, the fines that he'll have to rack up. But everything else in the incentives, that's all going to be on next year's cap space. I like it. It saves money for the Chiefs. That's kind of what you're trying to do. I think that was honestly a masterclass performance there by Brett Veach to be able to kind of basically get a discount without getting a discount. And now you got to see what you can do in the future, but you got your all-pro defensive tackle back for the upcoming games. That's right now's problem. You can worry about getting him back in the future. Who got the better deal, though? Because Jones did come out on top. He did get his money. He's going to get a good incentive base. He's going to be playing like an absolute monster to earn all that money back. But like I just mentioned, the Chiefs also got a good deal because they came in and they said, all right, we're going to put this on next year's cap space. And now it's kind of like it never happened. So who got the better deal? I want you to let me know in the chat. Type C if you think the Chiefs got the better deal, or type J if you think Chris Jones got the better deal. Because honestly, it's 50-50. I'm kind of torn. Jones got what he wanted. He's going to be able to get more money. But at the same time, Chiefs got an absolute steal being able to now push that cap space to next year. Now, there is one last detail I want to go on about the Chris Jones contract. And I think this may be one of the bigger ones as well. Now, Jeremy Fowler tweeted this out earlier and said that the new deal with Chris Jones does not include a no franchise tag clause. So, the team could still reserve the right to tag Mr. Chris Jones in 2024. Now, we know that that's not exactly what Chris Jones wants. He wants to have a multi-year extension and be able to kind of push himself further in his career with having that multi-year, but it's a possibility now given that there was not that clause added. Now, basically, the clause, so in theory, Chris Jones, I don't know why he didn't do it, he could have put in that contract that he signed yesterday that the Chiefs cannot franchise tag him for the upcoming 2024 season. But he did not. He decided that wasn't worth it. I'm not going to do that. Let's get a deal done and forget about it. So it's kind of nice because now you could, in theory, be handcuffing the guy, but you could franchise tag him in 2024. Again, he's technically a free agent, though, as well. So there's a lot to dive in with that. But I'm just excited that big number 95 is back in the Chiefs uniform and will be on the field, in all reality, hopefully on Sunday against the Jaguars. All right, we've talked Chris Jones. Let's talk about the second guy that was missing from that Thursday night matchup against the Lions, and that's Travis Kelce. Now, Kelce, we got a little bit of an update on him. He had that hyperextension of his knee last week that pushed him out of the season opener. Well, during the weekend, Kelce went through progressions of getting ready for a game. And let's kind of go through the timeline to maybe describe that a little more. So it was September 5th, last Tuesday, where Kelce hyperextended that knee. Now, the day after, the injury was changed to a bone bruise, which I've asked around. I'm not a doctor, and I don't really know anybody in the chat sports office that's a doctor, but that was changed to a bone bruise, which kind of makes no sense considering hyperextending bone bruise. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to be a doctor. That's what it was changed to. And then the day of the game, he was ruled out for the season opener. And then yesterday, Kelce ran for the first time since his injury, and it was no reports that it went wrong. No reports that generally went right, but nothing was wrong with that. The good news is we had a next man up mentality because Noah Gray came in, and I got to be honest, he performed, I'm not going to say amazing, but definitely sufficeable. 3 receptions for 31 yards, including that one long catch where I'm going to say it, he looked like Travis Kelce in that catch. Not did he have the size or stature of Travis Kelce, not a chance. But that was a Travis Kelce-like catch. Caught it, kind of went around to the outside, broke some tackles, that hard-nosed running. I liked what he had. So if they want to be safe with Kelce, Noah Gray's not a bad option, along with Blake Bell also getting a touchdown. But Kelce would be a huge boost to the receiving core. And I've talked a lot about the receivers and what kind of went down on that fateful Thursday night just a couple of nights ago. It wasn't good for the receivers. I'll just put it that way. I still cannot believe this is real. Every time I look at the stats, it just blows me away because Sky Moore dropping 1 ball and running the second most routes, might I add, as the second most routes of any Chief, and yet only getting 3 targets and dropping one of them. Kadarius Toney, well, I don't even want to get started on that. Marquez Valdes-Scantling did fine. He had a good catch. He only had 2 targets, though, so I want to see if they can have a better game, but it's no shock that Travis Kelce would add a receiving type that is unlike any other. Last year, a 1,000-yard receiver as the tight end. His average speaks for itself along with his touchdowns. He's a guy that's like a safety shield for Mahomes. He's a safety guy where if Mahomes is kind of collapsing, if that pocket is collapsing around Mahomes, he can be able to just dump it off to Kelce. It's kind of that old adage of, well, Tyreek's down there somewhere. Well, in this case, Travis is right there. Let's just throw it to him. If he catches it, he's going to catch it. And if I throw it to him, odds are he's at least going to get it out of the defender's hands. Now, the hope for Sunday is that if Kelce will be able to play, they're going to play. But, and I think this is smart, the Chiefs are being really, really cautious with Kelce because they originally thought that this was a season-ending injury. That's what their initial thought was. Thank goodness it's not. But they're, with that, making sure to be very careful and note that hopefully nothing bigger comes from this and make sure he's fully ready for that game on Sunday or potentially in week 3. Now, we've talked about Chris Jones. We've talked about Travis Kelce. Who is more important to the Chiefs? Who would be the more important addition? If you think it's Travis Kelce, then type TK. If you think it's Chris Jones, then type CJ. Now, if you want to go the extra mile, you can type those and then let me know why you think that. Because I think it's Travis Kelce. Not that Chris Jones isn't a huge addition, but Travis Kelce adds something that wasn't really there in the Thursday night game, whereas the defense overall pretty solid. And so I'm going TK, but let me know in the comments below and let me know why. Type TK for Travis Kelce if you think he's more important, or if you think it's Chris Jones, type CJ. Now, this is the best report of the day. I got to be honest. This is the most fun report of the day, might I add. And this is another reason why I'm going TK. Because there are reports that Travis Kelce is actually linking up, whatever you want to call that, with Taylor Swift. Now, this was 2 months after Travis Kelce tried to give Taylor Swift his number at her concert in Kansas City. And now, there's a source saying that the duo's been seen linking up quietly. Now, I think we're all asking the same question. Are Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce dating? Are they? I think they are. I think it's a Y for yes. There's a couple ways to describe dating. You can be on dating, you're not in a relationship yet. There's a lot of ways, but if they've been linking up, I'm saying that's dating. So let me know what you think, though. Type Y for yes if you think Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift. Type in for no. I'm hoping it's a yes because I think Travis Kelce would definitely get a boost from dating a mega superstar, especially Taylor Swift. All right, question again. I'm going to give you all a second chance. I saw some ends, and I need y'all to replace that because it's a yes. Tony Fuentes has Y, Adrian has a yes. Thank you. There we go with that. We also got Adrian Aguilar saying Travis Kelce is more important. Alicia says that Chris Jones is more important. See, it's close. Both of them are on. They're. I'll say this. Those two are definitely two of the top 3 players on the Chiefs squad. They're not number 1. We know who number 1 is, but they're probably 2A and 2B. Pretty kind of cool. So, got some Y's still coming in here from Tony Fuentes along with Adrian. Steven. Yeah, maybe he did mention, but this was reported today. Maybe it happened recently. Also, we all know that Travis Kelce is a master deceiver. I say yes, but you don't like it. Oh, you don't like it, Sarah? Why? I mean, I will say Taylor Swift is an acquired taste. I understand that, but at the same time, exactly. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
Like
she's a performer.
In the words of Bill Belichick, man, she's tough. I mean,
that's the best quote ever.
She's doing so. Like, I can't even fathom. Like, we do 5-hour watch parties where we're standing or like I'm sitting in the chair producing. Yeah. She's full on performing for 3 hours every night. Well, not every night, break. Like just
and
the
she weekends. Has to change.
And I'm saying constantly, there is no break. She does it the entire time. It's incredible. Man, she's tough.
Yeah. Plus, David has a great point here. TK and TS, maybe. TK and TS sounds pretty good to me. That seems like something you're going to see in like a sand heart with that. Yeah, like carved in. That seems like exactly what you're going to see. TK plus TS with a heart around it. That seems something exactly like you're doing. That's funny. All right, let's ask the other question. Who's more important to the Chiefs? We kind of got to this a little bit, but put your answer back in the chat. We'll give some shout-outs and we can kind of talk about this. But who is more important to this Chiefs squad? If you think it's Travis Kelce, type TK. If you think it's Chris Jones, type CJ. And let me know why. Also, the last one here, TS is too high maintenance for TK. I agree, but I've heard that Travis Kelce is also very high maintenance, so they might work out together. Tony Fuentes says Travis Kelce is more important. Lennon, is that how I say it? Lennon Uckerman? Hope I'm saying that right, Lennon. If not, let me know. TK for Travis Kelce, he's got it. And then content channel, Trav. Oh, yeah. I think it's Trav. It's kind of, listen, I love Chris Jones. He's going to be a huge addition. I like what he brings to the squad. But in terms of valuability from what we saw on Thursday night, I'm thinking it's Travis Kelce. You can't tell me that Patrick Mahomes scoring only 20 points is a normal thing. You put Travis Kelce back in there, I would argue that goes up now at the same time. Probably should have had a couple more points if Kadarius Toney doesn't put his hands in a vat of butter before the game, but things happen. Jake Cake says TK. I've not seen any CJs. I saw one earlier, but I'm not seeing any CJs right now, which I kind of agree with. AJ's got TK in there. Tony again with the TK. Patrick's boyfriend is better. Yeah, but Patrick has a wife, so like, I don't know. Maybe Travis Kelce isn't. He wants to find his own. Steven, yeah, you're kind of like seeing exactly what I saw, Steven. Travis Kelce is more important because the defense looked good, while the offense looked lost. Again, that was partly due to the receiving core, but the receiving core was, well, let's just say, not so good. And we can kind of talk more about that as we go. Bromance, yeah, I love that. Ugh, that's funny. Yeah, I think it's Travis Kelce, but we'll have to find out. We'll see if both of them are going to play on Sunday. I saw a report just before we went live saying that Chris Jones is probably going to be in uniform. It's not 100% confirmed yet, but it's as close as it can be. Back at practice today. Good to see that. And, yeah, hopefully we'll see him in a Chiefs uniform. Kelce will probably be more of an injury report thing on Thursday or Friday. I would expect him to be questionable even if the Chiefs think he can go because, well, Andy Reid likes to play some mind games just like every other coach in the NFL. So may as well just throw in there that he's questionable, make the Jaguars think about it, saying, well, are we going to have to deal with Travis Kelce? How are we going to plan for that? And on top of that, just fun. Just fun and games. Jonathan Earl has Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got you. Lennon, last one here, says CJ is better if we had no D-line. But Mike Dana was filling CJ's shoes to extent. Yeah, he was. He was. And now, here's my opinion. I think Mike Dana earned himself a spot. I think he'll be on the edge with Karlaftis because that's his main position anyway. And you can just have Coburn go out, take a seat, let him kind of be a backup. It's funny now what we'll do with Neil Farrell Jr. I don't know what's going to happen with him because that trade was to get depth at the defensive line. And after what I saw on Thursday and with Chris Jones being back, I don't really know you need him. I don't know you need him. Cole Kellner will answer this last question here and we'll go on. Do you see any Travis Kelce-like tight ends in the 2024 draft? And who might they be, if so? Well, I think I might dive into this question more in the Q&A we'll have, Cole. I like the question. Do you see any tight ends in the 2024 draft class that the Chiefs might like to draft? I think that's a good question to look at because, I mean, let's be quite honest, Travis Kelce he's not young anymore, and not that he's old by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, exactly. It's nice to kind of be able to basically have a guy that, on top of which you can have Travis Kelce teach, kind of like a quarterback where you can kind of teach him a little bit, I think is the best way to say it. It's a little harder with tight ends because, like, quarterback is a teaching position. You can be able to do that. But in terms of tight ends, a little different. So, yeah, okay. Tyreek Hill isn't on the team anymore, so he can't be more important. All right, you ready to go to the next show here? We're going to preview the Jaguars and the Chiefs matchup here on the second segment of the Chiefs Report. So, let's get right into it. All right, it's game week, Chiefs Kingdom, and that means the Chiefs are heading to Jacksonville to play week 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chiefs come in as the favorite, even though they are 0-1, and the Jaguars are 1-0, but we'll just have to see. On today's show, we're going to look at this Chiefs versus Jags matchup. I'm going to give my 5 keys for victory for the Chiefs team, and at the end of it all, I'm going to give my score prediction along with give you a chance to give your score prediction for this week 2 game. All right, let's start off with who you got. If you think Kansas City's going to win, then type KC. If you think the Jaguars are going to win, then type JAC. I'm taking KC all day. I know that game 1 was rough, but there's a good chance that you're going to have 2 key guys back on that team for this Sunday's matchup. All right, again, mention it. It's in Jacksonville, Kansas City. They're going to have to travel, go on the road out of Arrowhead. Now, Arrowhead didn't really work out well for them the first week, but the big thing I'm looking at is the receivers. But before we kind of dive into the, let's just say, identity of this game and what exactly I expect from it, let's kind of take a look at both of these teams separately. So here's the Chiefs, and we obviously know they lost the home opener, the season opener, to the Lions 21-20. Again, without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, and there is a possibility, I'm going to say possibility because I don't know if they're going to be back or not. Chris Jones likely to, Travis Kelce could be back as well. If you have those 2, oh boy, get ready. But if they don't have those 2, if things go wrong, even with those 2, well, the Chiefs are at a risk of starting 0-2 for the first time since 2014. That's a long time. That's about 9 years. So that's the hope, is that does not happen and to beat the Jaguars to make it a 1-1 record. Now, looking at the Jags, they won their season opener on the road against the Indianapolis Colts, 31-21. They did have to come back, though. They scored 14 points in that final quarter. And then Calvin Ridley had 101 yards receiving in the game. That's pretty good. He made his return to the NFL after his suspension. Very known. And just like the Chiefs had a potential to be 0-2 for the first time since 2014, the Jaguars have potential for an even positive thing on their side, as they could go 2-0 for the first time since 2018. I mean, that'd be pretty good for him, but I'm hoping the Chiefs come in there and maybe knock them off the pedestal for a second. All right, make sure you're subscribed to the Chiefs Report because we're going to be going live for the Chiefs versus Jags. We're going to have a watch party. Going to have a fun time. We'll have the scoreboard, have play-by-play, have everything you want. And the best part, you get to watch the Chiefs game with some Chiefs fans. We're going to be interacting with the chat. We're going to be interacting with you. We're going to be interacting with pretty much all we can. We're going to have a fun time. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications so you know exactly when we are going to go live, as you'll get an alert 30 minutes before we go live. And, make sure you join us for that watch party Sunday morning. All right, let's get into my keys to victory for the Chiefs this Sunday. And the first one and I'm going to pause before I say this because I need some energy. Catch the ball. Catch the ball. That was such a big problem. Such a big problem. And you know why Kadarius Toney's head is on there? Well, it's because he was the big problem. He had 3 drops on Thursday. 3. One of them, literally, ball is right here, right in the hands. Boop, missed it. Misses it. Became an interception, a pick 6, and, well, we just talk about that, but he only had 1 reception for 1 yard. He dropped another pass that would have put the Chiefs into field goal range. So it was just a tough night for Toney. And this wide receiver depth chart, it's got talent. I don't want to dog on these guys because I know Kadarius, he's got skills. He just didn't show it great. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he had 2 targets. He caught both of them for 48 yards. Sky Moore needs to step it up. He had 3 targets, and again, no freaking yards, no receptions, dropped 1. Rasheed Rice had a touchdown. He was a bright spot. He actually looked pretty good. He had, I think, 5 targets, 3 receptions. We'll probably talk about it, but yeah, he looked pretty good. So out of the top 4, if you want to go deeper with Richie James, Justin Ross, or Justin Watson, which wide receiver, or maybe rather, which wide receiver do you expect to perform well against the Jaguars? Because I think it could be Kadarius Toney. I got to be honest. He took that to heart. He deleted his Twitter. I mean, we can talk. He did post something on Instagram basically clowning the Giants, which he didn't need to be the guy to talk during that. But besides the point, Kadarius Toney has the faith of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So I expect a bounce-back game from him. But let me know in the comments below, which wide receiver do you expect to perform well against the Jaguars and their turnover-prone defense. Their defense can really get the ball into their hands well. My second key to the game is to continue the defensive presence you had, even with Chris Jones on the field. I mean, I think he'll be good, but on the top of it, I think you got to just make sure he's there. Now, the offensive stats for the Lions, they're pretty decent. 368 yards, but they only scored twice on the defense. 14 points. The other 7 obviously coming from that interception on the pick 6. The last drive, I think that was the one that really hurt because the Lions just ripped through the line running with David Montgomery, went all the way down the field, and, well, I gotta be honest, it wasn't the best drive for the Chiefs defense, but we'll go into more keys to victory here in just a moment. Now, I'm super excited to welcome in a brand new sponsor to the Chiefs Report, and that is Game Time. Now, with Game Time, you're going to get killer deals on last-minute tickets, and their best price guarantee guarantees that you're going to stop stressing over tickets, and you're going to be able to start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. Now, buying tickets with Game Time is not stressful, and it's the fast and easy way to get everything you want from sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. Now, the best thing about Game Time, well, there's flash deals, there's last-minute tickets, and on top of which you get images of the seats that you will be able to buy. Now, I am the new guy here at Chat Sports, and I'm still trying to explore the area, and I'm a big baseball guy. I want to go watch some baseball games. Well, with Game Time, that was super simple. Didn't have to plan ahead. I just went on the app, decided, I'll go to this game, clicked it, and within a couple clicks, I had my ticket, and it was sent directly to me. Did not have to go through my email. It was just an easy experience. And with our code ChiefsChat, you're going to be able to get $20 off your first purchase. That's $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code ChiefsChat for $20 off. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest price guaranteed. All right, let's continue in my keys to victory for the Chiefs against the Jaguars, and that's to limit Calvin Ridley. Ridley, well, he welcomed himself back into the NFL very, very well. I mentioned it at the top of the show, but let's bring those stats right back up because they deserve to be talked about twice. 8 receptions, you get 101 yards along with a touchdown. Yeah, that's pretty nice considering it was his first NFL game in really a long time. And this is going to be the first season, well, I say it, it'll be the first season where he potentially could play the entire season in 2 years after being suspended last year. So, I mean, he looked really, really, really good. And you got to have this defense to limit him because he's going to be electric, and that's going to go on to the secondary and kind of containing him. Along with, you got to worry about Christian Kirk. He didn't have that great of a game against the Colts, but if you contain Ridley, well, not to say that you also got to make sure Christian Kirk is covered up. Now, I've talked a little bit about the defense, but the offense also has to perform because that was the big problem on Thursday. I really surprised I'm saying this because I never thought I would. But the offense was the problem Thursday night. You only scored 20 points, and you gave up 7 points on the pick six. Again, Kadarius Toney, I think, is to blame for that one. I'm not giving that to Patrick Mahomes in any light. 316 yards for a Patrick Mahomes-led offense is average, and you don't really want average. You want above average every time you can possibly get. Again, the turnover did not help. And then I'm really expecting a bigger game from the running backs. 90 yards for 23 carries, not the greatest. I'm hoping that Isaiah Pacheco can get it going, and this offense is just able to light a fire in a way and basically get back to the Chiefs offense that we know, we love, and that I want to see on Sunday against the Jaguars. My fifth and final key to victory is to be the road warriors. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, you're going on your first road game, taking on the Jaguars, and you were pretty good last year in road games. 7-2 last year when you were outside of Arrowhead Stadium. So, continue that. Go and win the game on the road. Be the road warriors. Go take down the Jaguars. Be able to come out of there with the victory. Make sure that you go and you don't start out 0-2, but rather you start 1-1. You get yourself back up on your feet. And if Travis Kelce isn't there this week, well, then he'll be there for week 3. That's the hope. Again, here's the top 5 keys to the game. Catch the ball. That's Kadarius Toney's. That's all Kadarius Toney. Catch the ball. Him and Sky Moore. Continue the defensive presence. So that means to make sure that, although Chris Jones should be a good addition, make sure you continue to play well. I mean, sometimes people at Game of Thrones that can throw off the vibe. Make sure you limit Calvin Ridley. Be wary of him. That'll be the charge of probably Trent McDuffie along with L'Jarius Sneed and the rest of the secondary to kind of go with that. The offense has to perform. And then on top of which, you're 7-2 last year on the road. Continue to perform on the road and have that road dominance. All right. I need it. I got to hear it. I'm going to give you mine. What's your score prediction for the Chiefs versus the Jaguars? I've given you kind of everything kind of laid out on a sheet. With all that in mind, what's the score you have in mind for this game? I want you to get in the comments and predict the score. Chiefs versus Jags, 12 p.m. on Sunday Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be live for it. But before, make sure you get your comments and get your score prediction in the comments so you lock that in. Hey, maybe you just might be right. It'll be pretty cool as well. Here's my score prediction. 28-24. Chiefs go in. They get the victory. And I went back and forth on this. I do think the Chiefs will win. I'm not really hesitant on that. But I don't know how much the Jaguars are going to score. I don't know how much the Chiefs are going to score. It's so weird because the Chiefs they weren't going to perform like they did on Thursday every game. Are they going to go out and be mad and get like a 50 bomb? I don't really know. Are they going to fall flat again? We'll have to find out. But I do think this defense holds the Jaguars, who had 31 points last week, to 24, maybe even less. So that's my final score. Kansas City 28, Jacksonville 24. Call it, book it, put it in there. That's what I think will happen. If you want to help the Chiefs win, like the video. You know what to do. Like the video to help the Chiefs win. And I guarantee you, it'll give them the boost we need. And it's going to be a good time in Jacksonville. Make sure you join the watch party. And, yeah, go Chiefs. All right, who you got? Get in the comments. We got some score predictions. And we got KC for Kansas City, JAC for Jacksonville. Tony Fuentes says 28 Kansas City, 22 Jacksonville. Michael, wait, is that 31 minus 2? Or is that an equal sign not supposed to be, Michael? Is there like a... I think there was something there. Yeah. So Patrick Mahomes got sacked in the end zone, had a safety. But that's the only bad thing that happened. That happened in like the first quarter, and then it was done. That was it. That was over. Everything else was fine. Oh, that's funny. Glenn has the Chiefs 31, the Jags 27. I could see that score. Tim Carr's got 28-21 Kansas City. Travis, bold prediction, says that we'll hold the Jaguars to under 14 points. All right. Also, Michael, Was that exactly what you said? 31-2. If that is cool, it's just the equal sign is throwing me off. Oh no, that's the equal sign is still there. Greg Stewart, what's going on, Greg? Shout out, 28-23, Kansas City. Ah, okay, there you go. Okay, Michael, sweet, gotcha. That's kind of what I thought. I was like, I think that equal sign is supposed to be a number. So Michael Waith got 31-21. We got Greg Stewart with 28-23, Kansas City on top. Richard Martin, what a bold prediction there, 38-14 he's got. And then Cole Kellner's got 31-20 Chiefs. I like all those scores because, the Chiefs are winning in every single one of those. That's pretty good. I think that's the hope. And honestly, there's another one, Alicia. Chiefs 48, Jaguars 23. See, I was flirting with that. I was kind of thinking like, you know what? This offense only scored 20 points. What's to say you just don't come out there and you just absolute drop a 40 bomb on the freaking Jaguars? Their defense is good at turning the ball over, but in terms of holding teams, not so much. I mean, not that the Colts are a bad offense in any way, shape, or form, but he scored 21 on them, and that was a rookie quarterback playing in his first NFL game, and Anthony Richardson, who is not known to be a thrower just yet. I'm curious to see what will happen because it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that the Chiefs go in there, and I think the best case scenario is that you get up early and then you just hold the lead. You just hold it for a while. You don't go in and have to fight your way back. You instead get up, say 14, and then if the Jaguars score, cool. Just kind of let them stay around 7 points behind you. Don't let it get too close. And all in all, go out there. You could have CJ. You could have Travis Kelce. We don't know. CJ's looking like a really good possibility. We won't know about Travis Kelce just yet, but we'll find out later in the week. But it'll be interesting. All right. Our third segment will be a mailbag. Well, if you want to get in on the mailbag, use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your question answered in today's live show, as we're going to go through a bunch of questions from y'all and kind of just deep dive in here on maybe what questions y'all have for the Chiefs versus Jaguars or just Chiefs questions in general, as there's a lot of questions surrounding this team right now. So let me know if you got any. Use hashtag Chiefs again, or you can super chat for your question to be answered live on air. And hopefully we get some questions there. We got already one that I'm super excited to answer. Got a few. That's nice. So yeah, we'll kind of have to see. And but yeah, get in there, hashtag Chiefs, super chat, and have your question answered on the show. Okay, while you're trying to get those questions in, just let me know kind of what's going on. Yeah. All right. Y'all ready to go? I think we're ready to go. Let's do it. All right, let's get into this video here, the last segment of the day. We're going to do a mailbag, answer your questions. Again, hashtag Chiefs, super chat. We'll pop you on here, and we'll answer you on the live Chiefs report. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, before we start today's show, I need you to let me know if you are going to join us for our live watch party for the Chiefs and the Jaguars. If you are, the easy way to tell me, like the video. Hit that like button and make sure that you're going to join us for the watch party. We're going to have a fun time. It's going to be just me, you, the chat, talking about the Chiefs, watching the Chiefs. We're going to have some scoreboard up. We're going to have some play-by-play. And all in all, it's just going to be a good time where you can come and watch the game with some fellow Chiefs fans here on the Chiefs Report. And all in all, we're going to party. And you got to fight for your right to party. So like the video and join us on Sunday. All right, we're going to dive into today's show, and we're going to open it up with some mailbag questions. We are going to answer your questions here on today's show and kind of talk about what I think, what your questions mean. There's a lot of questions surrounding the NFL. There's a lot of questions surrounding the Chiefs. So let's start right here. Our first one comes from Shad Jameson, and he says, will CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, be on the roster the entire season? I think yes. As much as I don't want him to be, I think he will, just because Patrick Mahomes likes him. He enjoys having out there. And the carries he got on Thursday night against the Lions, they kind of spoke for themselves. He had more carries than McKinnon. He was on the field more than McKinnon, it felt like. So it will be interesting to see. I think he will be on the roster. I don't really know if I want him to be on the roster the entire season, but I think he definitely will. Let's go to the second question here from Tony Fuentes. He says, the only thing that's on my mind is when will Kelce come back and play, and which wide receiver will the Chiefs sign that will help us out? Well, the hope is Kelce can play this Sunday, but in terms of which wide receiver we'll sign, that could be a lot of players. We could trade for Mike Evans, but there's not really a lot of signing options out there, I don't think. We kind of talked about it in a past video, but there's a couple of wide receivers that we could target. One being Mike Evans as a trade, and then the other being T. Higgins. He had an 0 for 8 targets, no receptions this last week against the Browns, and the Bengals have stated that they don't know what the future is with him. So I think that could be 2 wide receivers we could see the Chiefs target. But I don't know. I think once you get Travis Kelce back, the Chiefs may be all right. They may not worry about it, to be quite honest with you. And if TK can come back this upcoming week, Trav plays well, I think that question that, what wide receiver are we going to get? What wide receiver are we going to trade for? It's going to go out the board if he plays well and the wide receiver is going to bounce back game. Third question we have is, do you expect a bounce back performance from our wide receivers coming in from RJ Chief? I do. I do expect a bounce back performance from our wide receivers. Now, I've shown the bad stats a lot on this show, but let's show some of the good ones too. Justin Watson, he had 4 targets, 2 receptions for 45 yards. We've already shown Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And then Rashee Rice having the touchdown along with 3 receptions for 21 yards. Those guys performed well. Now, the bad ones, well, that was, first off, Sky Moore. Because Sky, he had 3 targets, and he only had, that's a typo there, 1 reception instead of, actually no receptions, and only 1 drop. So he had 1 drop. That's not good there for Sky Moore, and this stats, it speaks for itself. It wasn't a good time for the entirety of the Chiefs' really wide receiver core. Kadarius Toney only had the 1 reception for 1 yard with 5 targets. Did not perform well. He's kind of the big one that you look at because he cost the Chiefs the game. He did. I'm going to be flat out. He cost the Chiefs the game. Had 1 reception for 1 yard, 3 drops, and he had 5 targets. The 1 drop bounced right into the hands of a Detroit Lions defender who ran it back 50 yards for a pick 6. And then on top of that, you also had the drop that would have gotten the Chiefs into field goal position. That's a, right there, 10-point swing in favor of the Lions rather than the Chiefs. Now, what I have to say about it is this wide receiver room does have talent. I'm dogging on Toney a lot. I'm dogging on Moore a lot. But to be quite honest, they both have talent. And I think that's what makes it so frustrating is that I know and I've seen what they can do, and I just want them to do it on the field with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because I know they can. We've seen it in practice. We've seen it in training camp. Sky Moore looked great. Patrick Mahomes was singing his praises. Patrick Mahomes, Brett Veach, and Andy Reid all are still singing Kadarius Toney's praises. This wide receiver room has the talent. It's just about if they can use that in the actual game, and I hope they can because, man, it really stunk just watching every pass go right through the hands of the receivers. It was a tough time, but overall, I think this room has talent and has the potential to be a really good wide receiver room. Maybe now, maybe in the future. It's there. It's just got to come out. So I got to ask you this question. Will the Chiefs get a better game from their wide receiver room? I don't really know how you go down from there is my thing. If you think they will, then type Y for yes. If you think, no, we're going to stay course, we're not going to have a good game, well, then type in for no. Let me know what you think because it's a tough time. All right, the next question here comes in from Tim Carr. He says, Mike Evans trade likely to happen? I don't think so. I don't think so just because if it was likely to happen, I think there'd be a bigger talk around that. I think it'd be more of a statement piece in terms of reports and rumors. but I'm hearing nothing of trade talks. Even with the whole Chris Jones situation, there was maybe a little bit of talk that Chris Jones was going to get traded, but overall there was small reports on that, and I would have to think that if that something as big as that is happening in the Chiefs' offices, I feel like that would have to come out in some way, somehow. So I don't think it's likely to happen. I think it could happen, but likely, probably not. The next question comes from Joe Fazio. He says, do you think Chris Jones will be with the Chiefs next season? I think it's too early to tell. If I had to guess, I'm going to say yes, just because I can't see Brett Veach. This year it was trying to work an extension and a holdout. Next year it's he works a contract or he leaves. I can't see Brett Veach being, all right, we're going to let you walk. Now, he did that to Orlando Brown. Tyreek has been traded. We've seen Brett Veach make some moves before, but I don't think that's going to happen here with the Chiefs and Chris Jones. It's just not going to be one that I see happening. I think they're going to get a deal done, and who knows, maybe an extension gets done pretty much right after the season's over. We don't really know. I think he'll be in a Chiefs uniform next season if I had to bet on it. The next question here coming in from Kellen Marson saying, can Trent McDuffie be a top 10 cornerback in the NFL? I think he could. He had a really, really good game. Now, I will say he's definitely not going to be top 10 in the NFL now, but definitely in the future, he has the potential to be a top cornerback. He played really well last season, his rookie year. This year, he's also performing well in the first game. 2022 stats looking pretty nice. You get 44 tackles, a forced fumble, 7 pass breakups. I mean, he was playing exactly what he needed to. He also had a sack along with those stats. He looked pretty good. I'm hoping that he can continue that train this year. We've only seen one game, but overall, the cornerback depth chart, it's got a lot of youth. You got Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. L'Jarius Sneed missed a couple tackles on Thursday, which I wasn't too happy with, but he's a guy. He'll get it done. It's not going to be that big a deal. Trent McDuffie, he's a staple piece to the secondary, and this secondary can be good. A lot of people talked about the line on Thursday and how they performed well against the Lions, but nobody really talked about the secondary did pretty well as well. I mean, you had a really good wide receiving core for the Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You had Reynolds in there. That's a good receiving core. Secondary held them in check for all intents and purposes. I liked what they did. I think they can be good, and I hope that Trent McDuffie and the rest of the secondary can continue on their positive streak throughout the season. Make sure you're subscribed to the Chiefs Report for all your Chiefs news and rumors, because we got it all in one place. Sometimes you got to go look at Twitter, you got to go look at this, you got to find reports all over the place. Well, with the Chiefs Report, we condense it all into one place. We have it all right here, and we got all the content you need all season long for your Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and be able to join the Chiefs Report family, and make sure you know exactly what's happening with the Chiefs every single day. All right, our next question comes in from Cole Kellner. He says, do you see any Travis Kelce-like tight ends in the 2024 NFL Draft? There's one. There is one. His name is Brock Bowers. He could be the one. Now, are the Chiefs going to be in a position to draft him? Possibly not, but recent game that just happened about a week ago, well, Texas and Alabama. Texas taking down the Elephants, whatever you want to call them, Roll Tide, Crimson Tide, there you go. And that was a big game for Jatavion Sanders, the tight end from Texas. He looked pretty good as well. So Jatavion's more of a Travis Kelce type in terms of like a little taller, not as big as Kelce, but he could definitely be a guy that I could see coming in here and maybe being that guy to learn from Kelce and perform in the near future. So I think, in short, yeah, I do see a couple. Will the Chiefs get him? I think that's yet to be determined. The next question comes in from Caden is Elite. And he says, do you think the Chiefs will pursue Jonathan Taylor from the Colts? No, I don't. I really wish they would in some way just throw out an offer and see what they say. I think that's the biggest thing with Brett Veach is just throw out offers, see what you get back. If it's something you can't take, oh well, you try, throw it out there. I just don't see Jonathan Taylor having, in terms of money, I don't think that works for the Chiefs because they're not going to come back. They're not going to have the ability to pay him next year. So, in short, no, I don't see that happening in any way. The next question here will come in from Tim Carr. Who will be the biggest impact rookie? I'm going to go with the first rounder. I'm going to go with Felix Anudike-Uzomah. He almost had a safety tackle last week on Thursday. He was in the end zone taking down Jared Goff. Unfortunately, Goff got the pass off in time, but he looked really good. He was flying around the field. I think he has the potential to be a guy that could be a prevalent piece of this defense for years to come. You got him at technically pick 31 in the draft, obviously with the Dolphins losing their first-round pick. But I think he could be a really good guy. I know that there was some questions surrounding him, but he made there. I think he's one that you could really see some potential with him, and you build him up. He could be really elite at really a couple positions. The next question comes in from Course Brad. He says, what type of season do you expect from Chris Jones given his incentives? So let's start by showing off last year's stats, just to kind of get a baseline of what he did. Now, obviously, we're one game gone. It's gone already, but this was 17 games. And he had 44 tackles, 15.5 sacks, and he was in the backfield a lot. He was always there, and I think he has the potential to do that again. But before I give you kind of my argument, I'm going to let you answer first. Will Jones keep up his 2022 numbers in 2023? If you think he'll keep it up, then I want you to type K. If you think it's going to fall off a little bit, then I want you to type F for fall off. Get in the chat, let me know. You think he's going to make sure that those numbers are pretty similar? Type K. If you think, nah, he was not thinking about football too long, it's going to be a fall off for him, type F. The first thing I'll say about this is that no matter if he falls off, keeps up, whatever, him on the field immediately makes an impact. Because with Jones on the field in the past 5 years, the QB pressure percentage was 35%. That's number one in the NFL. QB pressure percentage was 27 when Jones was off the field. That ranks in the lower third of the entire NFL. I expect stone cold Chris Jones. I expect him there. He's going to be the same guy. And the biggest thing, he's playing for money. He's playing for it, which means that he has every incentive to go out there and do his best. Because the first incentive is this. You get your money. That quarterback, that's a money sign to Chris Jones. The second incentive is you're playing for your contract next year. What are you getting paid? How are you going to make the money? Well, Chris Jones has it all right in front of him. And that man, he's going to be a bad, bad man for the entire NFL offense. Every one of them to deal with here. So again, Stone Cold Jones is coming. All right, the next question coming in here from Tony Fuentes. Says, Jace Andrews, I'm glad you're part of the Chiefs Report, but sometimes I miss Harrison Graham. But I'm glad that you're here in the Chiefs Report, fam. I'm going to be honest with you, Tony. I miss Harrison too, man. I miss him. He's a great guy, but he had a really good opportunity to go out and improve his career, and I'm just happy that I can try and build off what he's done here at the Chiefs Report, and I hope I can just be a little bit of what Harrison was to y'all, and I really appreciate the guy again, a super good person to have, and I'm happy that I'm here too, and hopefully we can have a really good time throughout this entire season here on the Chiefs Report and throughout the entire year. And if you want to have fun with me, well, we're going to be live, so join us on Sunday. I mentioned it. Come join the watch party. We're going to be having a watch party on Sunday again for the Chiefs versus the Jags. Come join us. And the best way that you're going to be able to join us is if you subscribe. Because if you subscribe and turn on notifications, you're going to get an alert exactly 30 minutes before we go live. You'll know exactly what's happening. And you'll be able to join the party as Kansas City travels to Jacksonville. And we'll be live for the entire game. All right, one last time. Who you got? Who you got? Type KC for Kansas City and type JAC for Jacksonville. That's how it goes. Tim Carr, Harrison had an opportunity to pursue basically a good endeavor in his career. He's still with Chat Sports. He's gotten a good job to do with the managerial stuff, got some more opportunities. He's going to be doing the Bears Report right now. Cole Kellner, KC in a heartbeat. JJ Hackett. What's up, JJ? KC. And then Tim Bowen's got the KC. Alicia's got, is Chris Jones going to have a long-term deal with those 2 years? It's not 2 years. It's just the 1 year. He just restructured that last year on his contract. So there was no new years added to it. It was just an extra year, extra incentives. Lennon, close game because both QBs are in the MVP race. We're early, but yeah, Trevor Lawrence has looked really, really good in that first game. And that offense looked really good. I think this could be the year that Trevor Lawrence shows why he was the number 1 pick overall. And especially when he has Calvin Ridley, who, man, I expected him to be good, but golly, that first game was something else. Tim Carr's got KC, Stevens got KC, and then we got Caden is elite, got 28-17 KC. Tony Fuentes has KC. Got a bunch of KCs in the chat. I like it because I think we all know that overall, Kansas City is the better team on paper, especially if you add Chris Jones and Travis Kelce to the mix. Now, will they show it? We'll see. We've seen time and time again that Patrick Mahomes is able to come out and perform well. He's able to come out and throw to pretty much anybody. It's just the hope that he can continue to do that. This week is just got to keep firing it. I'm going to quote Patrick and say, I'm just going to keep firing it, and hopefully the drops subside. That's the hope, and we can only wait now. Only wait. All right, I mentioned it, but make sure you're subscribed because we're trying to get to 45,000. We're close, and if you subscribe, you're getting all your Chiefs news and rumors from us. We're having a good time. And I think that's the biggest thing is if you're on the market for an entertaining Chiefs news place, we're right here for it because we're going to be informative, we're going to have a good time, and we're going to make sure that you're on top of it because you don't want to go into your work on Monday after a game on Sunday and, oh, I don't know what happened during the game. Well, you're watching the Chiefs report, you're going to know exactly what happened, and you're going to be the guy that everybody's going to talk to about the Chiefs game. So, again, hit that little red subscribe button or youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Thank you for joining us today, and peace out.